Hey everyone, it's Mishan here, singer, songwriter, and vocal coach, and I want to invite you to an exclusive free webinar that I'm running this week where I show you how I started my vocal coaching online course business from scratch and then grew it to where it is now, where I'm making more than $500,000 a year from it. So in this webinar, I'm going to show you the exact process and steps that I took to be able to get there and the evolution that I went through to be able to achieve that goal and reach that result. But most importantly, I'm going to show you how you can start your own online course business and be wildly successful with it as well. Woodworking can really offer a platform to build an online course business out of. Art can be a niche that you can use as the basis of your online course business. And teaching people about makeup and the approach of how to put it on can also be a basis for building your online course business. Now, you don't need to start with an audience. You don't need to start with online courses already. You can be totally brand new with zero audience and start from scratch like I did. And I'm going to show you how to do all of this regardless of your skill level, regardless of the experience that you have. And we're going to show you how you can start from zero and get to where you want to go. So this webinar is really for two different types of people. Type 1 is people that have no knowledge about business at all. They know nothing about course creation and they have very little exposure to the world of business altogether. If you're an employee, raise your hand, 9-to-5ers. So if that's you, this webinar is going to show you exactly how you can start your online course business and start getting paid clients and making money from it very quickly. The other group of people that this webinar is for are people that already have an established online course business and want to scale to that next level. So if that's you, this webinar is really going to show you how you can systematize everything that you're doing and start to work with a process that's going to get your courses selling like they've never sold before. So if you fall into one of these two categories, then this webinar is for you and you're really going to gain a lot of value from it. So if you're not familiar with my story, I started off with side hustling my vocal coaching business alongside my 9-to-5 job. I was always trying to hustle and figure out how could I get more clients, more singing students, but it remained a side hustle for years. Back then, the way I used to get clients was putting up ads on Craigslist and on Kijiji, and I would get about 2 to 3 students a week. They would stick around for a couple months and then they would drop off. I was all private lessons back then. Then in 2011, I started my own YouTube channel, posting covers and singing tutorials. I posted so randomly that I never really got any real results with those videos. They got few views here or there, but it never really drummed up a ton of business for my vocal coaching. So once I began to post more frequently and really learned and dived deep on what my audience wanted to see, that was where I really started to see some growth in my YouTube channel. And as a result, my vocal coaching business also started to expand with it. Now, I got started with course creation because I ran out of time in the day to be able to go through one-on-one lessons with all of the students that were coming to me from my YouTube channel. So I wanted to create a tool that they could use to improve their singing in between sessions and maybe help them not have to take lessons altogether. I remember back at this time, I was doing about 10 lessons a day and my voice was fatiguing regularly and overall my well-being just wasn't there. It was not a good sustainable business for myself. So there I was, I created my very first course and I thought, man, this thing's gonna sell like crazy. I put it out there and then it was kind of like crickets. Not so many people bought. I was like, where are all the sales? However, something changed when I created that very first course. There was a paradigm shift. Something snapped in my head when I saw that very first dollar come in from passive income. It was the idea that I didn't have to be there physically working to be able to receive that money and to be able to provide value to my clients made a massive difference in my mind. Now I could see you don't have to be there trading hours for money. That changed my life. It made me realize what is actually possible with course creation and start to crack the code on how to get more clients and more students buying. Now, the first year after making that course, I made very little from it. And I have a family with kids and I really had to figure this out quick. At this time, I was trying to take courses on this very topic to try to level up my knowledge on how to market, how to sell to people, and really push these courses to that next level. And thankfully, in the second year, I was making about $3,000 a month from the course sales. The second year, I made about $10,000 a month from course sales alone. And now I make $20,000 to $30,000 a month from course sales alone. Now, keep in mind, on top of that, I have private lessons that are booked as well, but this is just from my course sales. So as time has gone on, I've had friends and family asking me about what I do and being truly amazed by what I've been able to achieve with, in their minds, thinking simple singing courses are making that type of money. I remember being with a couple of friends, and one of my friends was saying to everybody else, he said, the only way to make money online is to teach other people how to make money online. He said it kind of tongue in cheek, but then I explained to him what I'm doing and how I've been able to make six figures from the work that I do. And he was truly blown away. I'll never forget the look on his face when I told him the number. I mean, he probably didn't even believe me. So most people, when they think of a singing teacher, they think of a low wage, maybe in a school or in a music school. And they think that you're not really gonna, it's a nice side hustle, or it's a nice, thing to do because you're passionate about singing. But it's not something to make a good living off of, maybe even one more than doctors make. Most people don't believe that. And I went on to explain to that group of friends that I was with that any niche can make that much or even more money from online course sales, with the caveat that it's done with the right approach. I've become so passionate about this idea of making online courses, and online courses being the opportunity of this generation to really make money online with very little investment, that I've begun mentoring and coaching friends and family who, in the current situation might have lost their job or are working in a soul-sucking 9-to-5 job that they absolutely hate, and they're totally depressed because they can't wait to get to the weekend every week. Now, if that's you, I'm so sorry to hear that, but there is a better way. There's a way out for everybody, because everybody has experience that they can bring to the table and teach other people. So this webinar is going to show you the approach and the methods that I've taken to be able to grow my online course business. And you're getting the benefit of wiping out all the trial and error that I had to go through until I actually found a process that works. You get to jump straight ahead all of those years of experience and get the end goal. Now, in the webinar, we're going to cover 3 key things that absolutely need to be there for success. These ideas are not going to be ones that you've heard of anywhere else. Because right now, unfortunately, after searching through the internet, there are a plethora of fake gurus out there that are just trying to scam the system. Unfortunately, that hurts people like us that are actually putting out good, valuable content. There is an air of distrust because of all those fake gurus trying to pretend like they can show you exactly what it takes to build an online business. But the irony is, before they build this product that is showing that you how to build your online business, they had never had a successful online business. Majority of them. Those are the fake gurus you should watch out for. Watch out for people without any personal experience in this field. That is what separates me out from any of the gurus. I am not a guru here. I am just somebody who has run and continues to run a successful online course business that continues to provide me with a 6-figure income every year. So how many of those gurus out there have actually and are currently running 6-figure online course businesses? Ask yourself that before ever shelling out any money to those people, to really know that they can put their money where their mouth is and walk the walk instead of just talking the talk. I can say this because I had one of those niches that doesn't teach people how to make money. So if you're one of those that's worried that you're only going to make any money if you teach other people a skill that helps them make money, raise your hand. It's not true. It's not true because I was able to do it. So this webinar is really going to debunk a lot of the myths that get passed around from these fake gurus out there that try to position themselves and make promises that are outlandish and courses that don't really deliver on the price that they charge. And the webinar is going to give you a lot of practical advice that you can walk away with and actually implement right now into your online course business. Now, here's the 3 things we're going to cover. Number 1, I'm going to show you how to pick your niche. I'm going to show you how to craft your offer so that it provides value to the people in that niche. So right now in the online course industry, I see an overarching theme that is a failure of many, many people out there. It's a huge problem that's become widespread because of a very rational belief that doesn't work in the instance that people try to use it in. And that is generalism. There are generalists out there. Very few people niche down to the point where they need to be able to provide value to the audience that they're trying to serve. The problem is when you try to serve everybody, you end up serving nobody. This idea of trying to make everybody happy and help everybody, it's great in theory, but in practicality, it kills the marketability of your course. The correct way to create courses is to niche down, pick the audience that you want to serve, and find out what bothers them, what are their pain points, what do they really need, and then serve them through the value that you give in your courses. And this webinar is going to show you how to do just that. It's going to get you into the mind of your niche, find out what makes them tick, and how to provide them value, because we want to try to give as much as we can instead of just thinking of taking all the time. Because if you give, then those people will be happy to give in return because they've received much more value than you've taken from them. Point number 2 you're going to learn about in the webinar is a little bit different than probably what you've really heard before, but it's how to make an imperfect course. No, you heard me right. How to make an imperfect course. See, the problem that 99% of course creators run into when they're first trying is that they want it to be good. They want it to be better than good. They want it to be great. And when it ends up that they try to push it from good to great and to perfectionism, that's where they get stuck spinning their wheels constantly and never actually finishing that course. This locks them into this pattern and they're not able to actually release it into the world. It's actually better to release something quickly than trying to release something perfect because it's not going to be attainable. Now, I know you may be scratching your head on that one, like, what? Why you'd want it to be perfect? Why wouldn't you want it to be good? You want to make an imperfect course, but I'll explain that all in the webinar. So there's number 2. Now, number 3, I'm going to show you, and this is where the rubber hits the road, how to find customers for your courses that are willing and ready to buy the value that you're willing to provide. Now, you're going to want to stick around for this one because this is where the magic happens, right? Creating a course is wonderful, but if nobody is going to buy it, you're kind of stuck. We're not here to get it in front of everyone. Remember, we're not generalists anymore. We are going to niche down. We're going to find those people that we want to sell to, but we want to try to find the people in that niche that have the ability to buy what we're providing. We need to find those who are willing to pay for the course what it is actually worth. Point number 3 alone is worth showing up to the webinar for, even if nothing else was available. Now, I've spent more than a month crafting the content that's in this webinar, so there's a lot of value packed into a very short period of time. It's something that you're going to really want to go out and get access to. So what I encourage you to do right now is click the button or the link in the description and register for the webinar right now. We've got a couple of times available this week. So go to the link, lock it in, get your seat, and I will see you there. You know, I'm really looking forward to presenting this information to you there and showing how your life can transform with the use of online courses and building out your online course business. And if you're having any doubts about registering for this webinar, I totally get it. There's so much information and misinformation out there that we have to be very careful about who we listen to. But remembering that you're listening to somebody who has had a business, an online course business that has run successfully for the past 3 years and is continuing to run. It's not that I've shut down that business and have moved on to other projects and now claim to have success. That online course business is running healthily. Here, I am trying to provide the information that I can to the people that I mentor so that I don't have to walk them hand in hand through the entire process. I can hand it off to you and say, here is all the information that you can go through at your own pace. And that's why I've created it here. I understand that there's tons of people that will misinform you out there. I am not one of them. And I believe if you show up to this webinar, you will see that the information is the real deal. So I encourage you now to click on that button or click the link in the description, register for the webinar, lock in a time that works for you, get in your seat, have a pad and pen ready because you're going to want to take notes, and I will see you there. Thank you.